Welcome back, everybody. Or welcome for the very first time. If you are just finding us either way, I'm glad you're here. 30 episodes and 27 career paths later, we have officially made it to the season 2 finale of Pharmacy Pathways, the show where we pull back the curtain on the various careers available to pharmacists by talking directly with the pharmacists who are actually in those roles. The profession is evolving faster than most people realize, and this works in our favor. Yes, community pharmacy is still the backbone of this profession, and it always will be. But it is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. Some pharmacists are building highly specialized clinical careers. Some are pivoting into industry. Some step into leadership. Some go into research, technology, entrepreneurship, advocacy, or healthcare strategy. And every single one of those paths is legitimate and very much necessary. It is becoming more and more possible for us to find careers that speak to our passions, our interests, our skill sets, all in one role. It may not be so black and white to get there, but trust me, it exists. Maybe you just haven't found it yet. Now, before I start boo-hooing on the camera, I'm not gonna take too much of your time today. I just wanna briefly reflect on some of the biggest themes and career highlights from this season, and then I'll let you know what's coming next. But I'll also share how you can help me continue building this platform in a way that truly serves you. So what are the 3 biggest takeaways from this season? I was sitting with that question myself, and there are a few themes that keep coming back to me. Number 1, learning what you don't want is just as valuable as finding out what you do. So many guests this season talked about pivots, unexpected opportunities, plans that just fell apart, fields that they found themselves in that they didn't even know existed when they started pharmacy school. And the ones that stayed open throughout that process seem to be the most fulfilled. And I don't think that that's a coincidence. Not only is this encouraging, but it also should feel liberating because it takes the pressure off of having to have your entire career figured out. I mean, it's great to have a direction, do not get me wrong, but it's okay if that direction changes. And the last thing you want to do is try to force yourself down a path that doesn't fit, because that unhappiness will not go away on its own. It will only grow stronger. So I challenge you to change your perspective, to shift your perspective. If you don't know yet exactly what you want to do, yes, that is frustrating. But I'm willing to bet that you at least know what you don't want, what you don't like, what you're not willing to tolerate. And that, my friend, is very valuable data, because even while you're ruling out things, you are still making a lot of progress. Number 2 is you cannot do this alone. You were never supposed to. We need people around us who are in the same season of life, people who just get it without us having to explain everything. But we also need people who have already walked the path that we're trying to walk. Mentors who can hand us the map that they had to draw themselves. Here's what I've come to believe. If you're willing to learn and apply something that took someone else 10 years to figure out, you can accelerate your career by a decade. That's not a shortcut. That is wisdom applied. And it's available to you if you're willing to humbly seek it out and be coachable enough to receive it. Which leads me to number 3. And I'll be honest, this one is a little personal. This show is making a difference in people's lives. And I just needed to say that out loud. A single episode takes me anywhere from 30 to 50 hours from start to finish. It requires a level of discipline and sacrifice that I don't always like and that I don't always talk about. If one person's life is impacted by an episode, just one, then every hour that I put into it was worth it. Sometimes I just have to trust that this is happening, and then other times your feedback confirms it. On the weeks where I'm running on empty, that is what puts the gas back in my tank to keep going. So if this season did anything, I hope it gave somebody out there a little bit more clarity, or at least a little bit more permission to explore, and to not be so hard on yourself if you don't know exactly what you want to do yet, because you are not alone. Okay, let's just take a second and appreciate how much ground we've covered. When I started Pharmacy Pathways, the goal was pretty straightforward. I wanted to show people just how many different paths, careers in pharmacy that they could navigate, that they could explore, that they could choose, because I genuinely believe that exposure changes everything. Season 1 was about introducing that diversity. So we explored family medicine, ICU pharmacy, psychiatric pharmacy, diabetes management, infusion pharmacy, correction pharmacy, pain management and addiction medicine. We also talked about managed care, medical writing, medication safety, PhDs in clinical pharmacology, and advocacy within the profession. But in season 2, we expanded that conversation from exploring careers to understanding how pharmacists can intentionally build them. This season, we got into strategies for residency and fellowship pursuits. We also talked about pharmacists pivoting into industry roles like medical science liaison and health economics and outcomes research. Specialties like nuclear pharmacy, transplant pharmacy, and I even got to pull up in a compounding pharmacy and interview someone on site. Independent pharmacy ownership and pharmacists working at the intersection of healthcare and artificial intelligence. Not to mention pharmacists in leadership positions of major healthcare systems. This can be accomplished just by navigating, but also with dual degrees like a PharmD MPH. So I invite you to go back and see if there are any episodes that you haven't watched yet that pique your interest. You can watch them on the YouTube or listen on your favorite audio podcast platform. Also, if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, go on and do that. It's the best way to stay in the loop on new episodes. I drop an email on the week that an episode goes out or a new video goes out, so you'll be able to stay in touch with everything that's happening on the platform. And you can sign up at pharmacypathways.org. I promise you I will not spam you because I simply do not have time for that. All right, so what is next? We are taking a season break. Season 3 will be back in the fall with brand new guests, but I won't be going completely quiet during the break. I'm going to be releasing some solo episodes, just me, no guests, talking directly to you about the state of the profession. These are going to feel a little different from what we've done before, less interviewee, but more one-on-one talk. And I kind of like that. I'll be tackling touchy topics such as, is pharmacy still a good path to take in general? What is the actual state of the pharmacy profession and where is it heading? Which career paths are genuinely growing, evolving, and which ones are quietly shrinking? And what should someone who's thinking about entering pharmacy school actually be weighing before they make that big commitment? These are not comfortable questions. They're awkward, but they're real ones. And you deserve honest answers, not just the polished, everything is fine version, but also not the everything is trash version either. Because as a current or aspiring pharmacist, we should always remember that if data being presented to us is biased, skewed, or incomplete, then the integrity of that data has been compromised. So with that being said, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button so we can stay connected, do that. Because the break is temporary, but the conversation, well, that's just getting started. We're wrapping up, but before you go, I just need 30 more seconds of your time and attention. I need to remind you that this show is not about me, it's about you. And beyond you. Many others who could benefit from this resource but still don't know that it exists. I could not build this platform alone. It requires community. So I encourage you, I'm asking you to share these conversations with others to help spread the message. And you can also do this by liking an episode that provides you value or engaging with me in the comments. Also, please let me know what you want to see in season 3. Which careers are you interested in that I haven't yet covered? What questions would you like me to ask or answer? Drop it in the comments. You can send it officially through the website form, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Any way that you can get it to me, I'll review it. And on the flip side, if you know a pharmacist with an interesting story or career, or if you are that pharmacist, please reach out. Don't be shy. Guest applications are open on the website as well at pharmacypathways.org. All right, that is a wrap for season 2. Thank you for being here and honoring me with your attention and your time. Stay blessed and stay curious. I'm out.